My book Timeless Tweets 2000 of May 2021, which contains a commentary on life and over 2,000 tweets, is presented as videos in YouTube. This is one such video. Chapter 27. Whenever there is aviation noise of aircraft in the sky at dead of night, one should think of the fact that scores of men and women, and maybe children, of different ages, beliefs, and nationalities, who have not seen one another before boarding, nor will ever see after alighting, comfortably huddled together in plush seats and hurtling through space at hectic speed up and above the sky and maybe the clouds, and maybe over the deep seas habited by non-human life in myriad forms in pitch darkness and biting cold, for diverse purposes, which may include sundry or outright stupid social or political purposes, and with objectives from plans for meeting personal needs to upliftment of conditions of human life or designs for smuggling, murder, or spread of terror. If this is normal in life, what else is abnormal? Ideas are for immediate execution, unless labeled otherwise. They cannot withstand the luxury of delay. If your sound ideas go unnoticed, you may feel bad. But who knows whether you are the loser or others? Decisions churned out by the brain pass through the filter of the heart. With some people, the heart is bypassed. With some others, the decisions originate from the heart itself with no role for the brain. Saint Thiruvalluvar devoted whole chapter to extol the virtues of not killing for food. We praise him to the heavens, but maybe principles and practice are two different things and we should not confuse one with the other. Half the hall is full. Enough to satisfy the optimist. But half empty will be the marketer's concern, and you can't blame him. Even scintillating ideas will do better with cheerleaders than without them. Such are the days. Money spent in detecting fraud, theft, murder, and the like must be compensated by huge penalties/confiscation of property from the guilty. There must also be a liberal dose of death penalty. Who is benefited by somebody languishing in jail for years on end? You can see a table there, but it may not be there actually. Just possible. It can be a mirror image. Maya theory simplified. More philosophy in mind, and less interest in continued living go together. All life is a compromise between propriety and feasibility, i.e., between what is proper and what is possible. The strange thing about faith is that, in fairness, we can neither accept nor reject it and be at ease. Because questions will always arise on both sides, for which there can be no answer. God is believed to be a problem solver. But, in the first instance, who creates the problem? Everything happens as ordained by God. Then what? The choice of a gift must be based on the need or desire of the receiver, and not on the inclination of the giver, it is said. May be true, but a little harsh on the giver. Lord Buddha said, or did he discover, that all misery stems from desire? What is the use of telling this to the victims? He should have addressed the maker. Sex is the only thing in the world that needs no marketing. Urge for the transaction is inbuilt. With what sinister objective, God implanted this device resulting in continuation of life, with all attendant misery, he only knows. Advice may be timely or ill-timed, in context or out of context, well-deserved or ill-deserved, appropriate or inappropriate, sensible or stupid, warranted by public interest, mutual interest or selfish interest, approving or dissenting, requested for or unwarranted, paid for or honorary, well received or thoroughly misunderstood, promote or shatter friendliness, beget gratitude or create animosity, be gracefully accepted, silently rejected, or curtly rejected. Such is the risk in advice. Including this one, beware. There was a report in TWEETS edition that an educated young man, who was shortly leaving for Kohima, his native place, was sentenced to 10 years in jail, because in a fit of rage in the course of a tussle at an ATM, he stabbed the ATM guard with the knife he usually carried with him. Actually, if you come to think of it, 10 years RI is harsher than even death penalty. This is not understood in our system of justice. What will he do in jail for 10 years, and what will he be like at the end of 10 years? And family? Some companies print their user manual or text of traded document in very fine print, keeping only the availability of technology in mind, and in utter disregard for the need or capacity of the customer to read. This is deplorable. God is a mystery. But the prevalence of faith in the face of widespread contraindications is a deeper mystery. If you look inside yourself, you will see God, or so it is claimed. But if you watch what all happens outside, you will wonder how it can be so. The media has the undesirable practice of intensifying the sadness in happenings, by modulation of voice of the newsreader, to a loud and raised pitch, and by appropriate suspense-rich background music. That nobody object shows the blunted social awareness. Think we must. But whether we should think of only what makes us happy, or can think of all reality, which perhaps may make us feel unhappy, is probably a matter of personal choice, whatever prudence may demand. We have giant-sized cutouts for cine stars who entertain us for a very fabulous price. But these days, photos of parents have disappeared from the walls, and are tucked inside albums opened rarely. They brought up children with care and affection and without expecting any return. I hear the young murmur, if they did not expect any return, what is the problem now? In bygone days, Brahmins had long hair or tuftas known, and this provided food for fun for Dravidian parties. Now our villains have it, and there is a transition of power center also. What leads to sex crimes is not so much the anticipated pleasure of indulgence, as the intense discomfort from abstinence. This aspect should make the dispensers of justice concentrate more on the punishment for the promoters of stimulation, be they artists, actors, advertisers, or dress designers, than punishment for the so-called offenders who have already unwittingly succumbed to the physiological pressures intentionally exploited for profit by a variety of unprincipled groups enjoying enviable social status. What philosophical ideas may appeal to those on full stomach may not appeal to those on empty stomach. Story is fact mixed with fiction. 100% news is fact, 50 propaganda, 50 forecast is fact, 50 assumption, 50 diplomacy is fact, 50 suppression, 50 budget is fact, 50 assumption, 50 faith is reason, 50 belief, 50 life is real, 50 Maya, 50. To look forward is a perspective based on assumption. To look around is a consideration of realities all around. Faith encourages courage and optimism and preference to caution and realism. The sun is there even when the clouds obstruct the view. Truth is there even when camouflaged by calculated suppression or tactful diversion. The corruption in any power to grant anything lies in the power to withhold, delay, or deny that. Every man sees a different cinema in a different theater, or travels by a different train in a different terrain. Their experience differs widely. Unfortunately, they did not choose the theater or train. They were placed there, and that shapes their attitude to life. A ton of happiness is no excuse or compensation for an ounce of misery. How can anybody explain how even the very kind-hearted have no qualms in their treatment of animals and birds when they catch, kill, cut and smash, heat and fry, add salt and pepper, for taste and munch without any feeling for their suffering? Marketing is of different kinds. Marketing for money is most common. But there can be marketing for name and fame also. Marketing of ideas in the public interest is of another class and is the most difficult one. Faith consoles. Reason rebels. One lawyer coaches the witness. Another examines him with a view to discredit the witness. Both are supposed to help the judge arrive at the truth. But they have, naturally, greater loyalty to their clients. The job of the judge becomes all the more difficult because of them. To keep the husband or wife away, you need a decree of court. To keep children away, you need a strong mind. Relatively, it is easier to keep parents away. And in some cases may be pleasant too. A coy look, a mischievous wink, a casual look, angry pose, quick glance, considered attention, and calculated response are all different reactions warranted in different situations. Imagination is an extension of thought and free ride in the realm of possibility, piercing the borders at times. Patrol cars precede ministers' cars when they are in power. Later, when their misdeeds during this period of grandeur come to notice, these same police cars follow them. Boredom results if there is continuous work, and also if continuously there is no work to do. What we need is change. Rest from work, or some work after rest, as the case may be. Change is the need. Any mismatch can lead to undesirable consequences for the body/mind. While young, if you call a longtime friend several times and there is no response, you may wonder where he could have gone. In latter days, at senior citizen or super senior citizen level, you may wonder whether he has left for good. Arts and literature are benefited by advances in science and technology. Otherwise, how can cine actors charge and be paid hundreds of crores as remuneration? But science and technology are not benefited by arts and literature. Is there any billionaire scientist? The position regarding justice/injustice is very clear. If there is a God, He will take care of it. If He does not, you can't do a thing. If there is no God, then also there is nothing you can do about. In any case, you have no role to play. Police vigilantly crack on criminals, lawyers diligently defend criminals, courts vigorously protect the rights of criminals under all circumstances. No wonder crime thrives. We have windows to see through, and window screens to prevent others from seeing through. Who are you? You come with a ready answer. I am so-and-so, born at, on such and such a date/month/year, to parents so-and-so. All hearsay evidence. It all happened before you could understand anything. Positive thinkers think that a contingency will arise, only if you are constantly thinking of it. So they keep no contingency plans. The correctness of the theory will be known only if a contingency indeed arises, but then it may be too late to wriggle out. Ideas that do not sell today may sell tomorrow or years later or never. A book of ideas may end up as a cry in the wilderness.